So CPI is out, massive miss, let's say. So markets go up, VIX goes down, commodities, metals up, dollar down, yields down, a lot of drama, a lot of people probably chasing the market up here. Be careful because I've seen this before, you know, with technically, I mean, right now we're pre-market, right? So we're going to open in 15 minutes. You're going to open above. Here we're looking at the SPY. You can see pre-market, 410.81. I mean, you're going to open above the local resistance, but watch out. It could just, I think it'll go a little higher, but basically just move lower, lower. And essentially the same resistance will be resistance. And tomorrow you have the FOMC, where, okay, I really do think that they'll announce 50 basis points. The market expects it, but, I tend to consider news overrated. The chart prices everything in. It knows it already. In the end, you look at the chart and say, wow, it's as if they knew. And yeah, and in this case, we really do know it's going to be 50 basis points, unless there's some sort of surprise. But I think the point is you could have a whipsaw. Today we're up. We could close lower than we open, right? So we could close, the S&P could close below 410. In which case, we're still at the same resistance despite this great CPI news. And then tomorrow, FOMC announces 50 and the market goes lower because buy the news, sell the fact. And then we've just got the same thing. It's just, as if we haven't really gone anywhere for like 6 days or something, 6 trading days. So be careful chasing. I see this as a beautiful opportunity to sell your worst stocks or trim them. In my case, I might trim a little bit because gold and silver are up nicely. So I could sell a little bit more of those, although I've already sold this upper range. We'll look into that also. But just to start off, watch out here. Pre-market, we're moving. You can see a new high of day here, pre-market. I wouldn't be surprised we open. It's a big, 2 or 3 green candles, and then sideways down, and then new low of day, and we'll see sideways. But watch out. I don't believe this at all. We also have quad witching, I think, on Thursday. So we have big days where they have big volatile news events and momentum. So S&P, I still consider 410 as resistance. Should we go higher, then yeah, 420. After that, 430. Very simple. 10 unit increments. They're also on the chart, especially 430. I don't see us getting there. In fact, good luck taking out 410, even though that means we're taking out this descending line because we didn't do it before because that red candle there closed within it and below the descending line. So yeah, technically we would have broken out of it, but I just don't believe it. Big picture, bear market, inflation. To be honest, if you believe this 6% number, good luck, because they doctor all of these things. It's probably double, maybe even more in reality. We're in a bear market, energy crisis, war, debt, crazy levels of debt, impossible to pay back. Not just in America, just worldwide. So yeah, I don't believe it at all. Anyway, NASDAQ, same thing. This one's one of the weaker ones. So you can see we're going to open still within the descending line. So I expect NASDAQ to find some immediate resistance upon the open if we open around here, unlike the SPY. Although the SPY, to be honest, the S&P does have that whole 410. So, but the descending resistance is a bit stronger. But anyway, both will have actually resistance at the open. And I still think we might move a little higher, but we drift lower the rest of the day. Dow Jones, actually, I'm not sure where that is pre-market. This is the one to watch. I just cannot believe where it is. And knowing the pre-market moves of the other indices, this is probably going to open above 34,600. I just really 35,000, absolutely obscene. Who's buying? Who's buying that? I'd love to hear that thesis. But then again, they've been right all the way up here. Watch out for FOMC. So Dow Jones would be interesting to see that. Russell 2000, probably the weakest one. It's nowhere near its recent high of 189, 190. So that will, in fact, the ascending support it's lost will still act as resistance. So resistance there. Maybe even immediately upon the open, watch out, don't chase. The VIX that hit 26, I thought it deserved to be there. And you can see yesterday, for example, it was up, was it 8% whilst the markets are up 1%? That is an indication of how broken it is. I've said it before. The VIX is a broken barometer. It's you have other derivatives of it like UVXY. Some of the moves they make don't make sense. I remember TVIX back in the day that was totally broken, totally fraudulent. In fact, that was managed by Credit Suisse. I need to check them out actually. So yeah, VIX slammed down because of this move. I don't think we're going to go lower than 19. Forget it. Probably not even going to get to 20. This move is already pretty big. And again, tomorrow, if we reverse right back up to the 25, 26 range. So watch out. Let's check out the interest rates. Yeah, so slam down. Watch out. The 1 year on this, the neckline is support. In fact, we're at support. Just watch out. We break that, we're going to have to move lower. And that'll influence the others to also accelerate their move down. I don't think we're going to take this out. Again, I think the move is done now for today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I don't think we're going to take out 4.5 on the 1 year. The 2 years is the most important one. That's the one the Fed needs to follow ultimately. And this, you can see the descending line fit perfectly. It didn't take it out despite this little pop above. That's today on news, so you can forgive it. So this descending line is still worthy of staying here. Watch the breakout of that, especially when it's not on news. That would, for me, be more credible. But ultimately drifting lower, right? 5 year drifting lower, following the 2 year. It's interesting because I just noticed the 10 year and the 30 year drifting lower, obviously, are drifting lower less than the 5 year and the 2 year. So the curve is just reshaping a little bit. And again, I just think we'll drift low and then break out and move up. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. Today's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day. Let's see. Again, I would prefer to see breakouts of this descending line. You can see this descending line is perfect. Also happening on a average day on no news, because news is it just ruins charts a little bit, and you can have whipsaw algorithms just interpreting things wrong. So yeah, anyway, yields down. Let's check out the dollar. Slam down just like yields. We're below 104, new lows. This one also, I said we drift low until we break out of this, then watch the breakout of this. So lower we go. Why is that my support? Ah, yes, it was prior resistance. That's a general area. Let's see if we could find a little support around 103-ish. Although I would be surprised if we go much lower. It's quite a big move here, minus 1.3% on the DXY. Otherwise, massive support here at 101, 102. So in my opinion, it's ascending. It's more long-term. It's hit more times, more credible. So yeah, dollar drifting lower, just like yields. As the market goes up and the VIX goes down, let's check out gold and silver. Huge move up. I love gold and silver, but I don't trust this either because we have this sort of staircase ascending move up, and it's always got a lot of resistance. I didn't think we'd take this out. I didn't think we'd take out 1800 or 1810, let's call it, with a vengeance, which we're doing now. It's very hard to call. I've highlighted where I think resistance is, but this one's pretty hard. It's between 1840 and 1880. I don't think we get there. Now, tomorrow's a big day, and if there's a continuation of today, tomorrow, you could get there, but I doubt it, right? I mean, charts are all about probability, and I just feel like we could have some selling and we could close below 1810, and then we're still at the same resistance. You know, imagine the future of the candle and the future chart pattern. Because it looks good now, but what if it sort of closes below 1810? Then you're like, okay, well, that's massive resistance. Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to be at 1780 if we have a reversal, and then that opportunity is over. So for me, gold and silver, very impressive, makes sense, but I just don't buy it. I think we've moved up too much. Silver even more. Look at this. I never thought we'd get here, and obviously we're not there yet, but to get to 25 on silver, I mean, that would be massive resistance. You know, this descending line here is a massive resistance. I don't think we get there. I'm still very impressed. We've moved quite a bit higher than I thought we'd get. I didn't think we'd take out, call it 23.5, which we've done here. We're at 24. So very impressive. Market opens in 10 minutes. Let's look very quickly at GDX, GDXJ. These were underperforming lately. just held their ascending. Oh, this chart's getting a bit cluttery, but you know, it just held within its ascending support. You can see this was a beautiful little target there. So that hammer, obviously, we're going to move up today because gold and silver are up and the markets are up, but still not above their recent resistance, unlike the general market. So still underperforming. GDX also same thing, although we're just opening at the high there. It's just at resistance of 30. So 30 GDX, GDXJ resistance 37. Again, whams if the market moves lower after we open and closes lower than it opens, then again, this area becomes even more credible resistance. So I think I'll leave with that, just saying watch the open, you know, watch out. It could pump a little bit and then drift lower and close lower than it opens. And if that happens across the board, you're going to have prior resistance still as resistance. And then what happens tomorrow, and no one can really guess, but I think we might get a bit of a reversal. And then we're back to where we were yesterday. So that's it. I'll keep it short and sweet. Yes, Bitcoin did also move up. It was moving up before. Before this news, I didn't move up too much more after, to be honest. I expected a bit more. Everyone getting excited, you know. I mean, it's true. Bitcoin was holding 17,000 whilst the markets were going down. People thought, oh, it's a floor. You know, watch out. That's kind of what's been happening for this whole period. And at the same time, you've got, I read some Tether news, and then you got some Binance news. So watch out with Bitcoin. And again, we haven't even reclaimed prior support. So anyway, good luck. I've got to go do a video later.